You judged the whole story by the darkest chapter. You thought the silence meant abandonment. You thought the pain meant God failed. But you stopped reading too soon. This story isn't done.
This story isn't done. What broke you isn't the end. The tears you carried here are not how heaven will bend. You see only the moment, but he sees what is to come. This story isn't finished. It has barely begun.
You have lived through questions that felt like storms, nights that turned your chest hollow, lost and made you believe the world was made of knives. And you wondered if suffering was the final word. But listen, the chapter you were in is not the whole book. Earth holds the setup, heaven holds the resolution. Your grief is not the last line, your sorrow is not the ending tone. You judge life by pages, God writes in volumes. You see the pain that happened, he sees the pain redeemed. You see the heartbreak, he sees the restoration sealed. You see the grave, he sees the rising. You see the night, he sees the dawn forming. You have only read the middle, and middle parts break, but they also transform.
This story isn't done. What broke you isn't the end. The tears you carried here are not how heaven will bend. You see only the moment, but he sees what is to come. This story isn't finished. It has barely begun.
You looked at the pain and said God was gone, but God stood in the silence, waiting for dawn. You judged the author by a single scene, while he was building what you couldn't see. You cried at the grave and thought all was lost, but he writes resurrection where the lines cut across. You let the middle define the whole, but God sees the ending page of the soul. Your scars aren't final, your night won't stay. He turns what broke you into light one day. So do not burn the book just because the chapter hurts. You haven't reached the place where mercy converts. Romans 8:1-8. The sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory that shall be revealed.
I saw your tears, each one written like ink. I saw your wounds deeper than people think. But I also saw the glory waiting beyond, a world reborn, a world redrawn. You see the pain that crushed your breath. I see the day you rise from death. Your story is not trapped in the moment you fear. I'm writing chapters you cannot see from here. This story isn't done. What broke you isn't the end. The tears you carried here are not how heaven will bend. You see only the moment, but he sees what is to come. The story isn't finished. It has barely begun. It now slowly be mine.
You stopped reading at the valley, but the mountain was still ahead.